So what do you think the end game is here on this island? We just gonna restore the royalty? If the king lives, maybe he'll die, and Rebecca becomes queen, or Violet. I don't think two of the three will die. I think one of the three will die. I don't see that person being Rebecca. She's the future. They're not killing the future. Likewise, it's a little too tragic if it's Violet. So I think it's going to be the king. Maybe he'll lay his life down. Maybe he'll lay his life down not just to depose Daffy, but to kill his ass. Because F that guy. I think the only way you win here is you have to kill him. Because the stakes are too high for him. This isn't just about maintaining power on the island. This is about not being killed by the Beastmaster. Right? Like, he's terrified of that. He knows that's what will happen if he fails. Failure is losing the island. Because you lose Smiles. Now, yes, the factory being blown up probably accomplishes that. But if you at least maintain control of the island, you could potentially rebuild the factory, especially if you get Caesar back. So there's hope there. It's like, well, all I have to do is just maintain control. So I don't think he will give up the island under any circumstances. Like, you would have to kill him. Like, he's going to keep coming. He's going to keep trying. He'll do whatever it takes. So, which means the only way to stop him is to kill him. Now, I guess you could get him in cuffs and put him in a cell. But he'll still be scheming because we're talking about his life here. He is dead. He's dead if, he doesn't, like, maintain control here. So even from a jail cell, he'd be scheming. So I think you have to kill him. Now, I know I'm bloodthirsty. I want him to die. So, yes, I kind of have a vested interest in this result. I hate this son of a bitch. But still, I think that's what has to happen. As far as what comes next, maybe they'll be like, well, let's just do a democracy. The king thing still has a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. The king can't take over because, again, like, there's not enough PR in the world to make everybody trust him again. You have to go to at least the next generation. So I think the reason they have three characters is we have Violet be the monarch, and Rebecca gets to do what she wants, whatever she is, whatever that is. Maybe it's just people don't hate her anymore. Like, I don't know exactly what she would want to accomplish here. But that's kind of why I think they have three. Be a little wild for her to be queen, considering she's been working for this son of a bitch for 10 years. I know it's for an ulterior motive of helping her father, but still, man, people seen her on the streets working. So I don't know if that would work. Maybe it has to be Rebecca. Personally, I think down with monarchy. Like, I don't think that system works, especially here, especially given the history of what happened, but at least the king will be redeemed. Most people will believe that he didn't do that shit, especially when you know Daffy's power. Like, come on. The podcast conspiracy theorists should be all over this shit. Hey, people did things that seemed to be like they were completely out of character, and they seemed to be in pain, and they were telling people to leave. I remember this happened. Oh, and now the new ruler has the ability to control people with strings. Huh. You don't need to be a podcast conspiracy theorist to follow those breadcrumbs. But how many people know about his power? Like, we didn't know about it until recently. He seems to keep it under wraps. He doesn't go around bragging, right? So maybe they just don't know what he can do. Maybe they've seen him attack people with his finger, but they don't necessarily think that that's a string that comes out of his finger and attacks them, right? So they probably don't know, I would imagine. At any rate, let's go and get into it. This is 667. We're past the age of the demon, and we are going on one. 3, 2, 1. Yep, we're all at the factory now, so we can change the animation. So they're at the top of this same facility. I guess I didn't conceptualize where Daffy was. I knew the palace was there, but I didn't realize that that's where they were. Okay, we're all in the same building now. Okay. Gotcha. It's a weird ass power, dude. That's the worst devil fruit I've ever seen because you can't even consciously use it. You got to be able to consciously use your power, man. Plus that demonic speaking of demons look he gets on his face, wild. It's great animation. Get his ass. Get out of my face. Look at him. I love that. And the transition back to the demonic face and back from the demonic face is great. It's great animation. I imagine in the manga they did a separate drawings, like almost superimposed over each other. Well, you just have all the answers, don't you? Well, anyway, I won. Kiss my ass. Yeah, like a boss. Dumbass. Well, shit. Where's the Admiral? He left. He was in the throne room with Duffy, but he left. Where the hell did he go? Because he's a wild card, and they just showed his face. So, that's a problem. At least we didn't wreck the stadium. Uh-oh. Oh. So it's going to be 4-4, right? That's how they're going to make sure nobody got the fruit. I had forgotten about that. It's been so long since we started this endeavor. Man, high heel. Your power is high heels? That's a terrible power. Who the hell's that? So the game always was you get the four survivors and then they would fight four people from Daffy. That's unfair as hell. Even this dude's a little unfair. But I guess that's the plan, right? Yeah, get him out of here. Turn him into a toy. These traitor ass medics, man. Look at them. I thought they were cool, man. He's gonna be turned into a toy. We're all toys. It is interesting. They're fixing some of the wounds outside, but you know you're gonna turn them into toys. Who cares? I guess you want them to live long enough to get into the toy room, right? She saved her ass. I don't know why. You would assume that's so she could advance her own game, but that's what she did. Hey, you're not Lucy. Where's your ex? Where's the X on your chest? Look at her. It didn't take her about 2 seconds to clock this. Who the hell are you? Oh, it's painted on. That's some bullshit. Get off me. Yeah, so Luffy told her. Okay. Or at least he just knows about her. Get off me. I didn't say you could touch me. I don't know, man. I'll get the fruit. I'm taking the fruit, but I will help you get your kingdom back, I guess. I don't know. Shit didn't take her long at all, man. Bullshit painted on X. Yeah. This is some tragic ass shit, man. I would climb the outside. You have a rubber man with long arms. I guess it would attract too much attention, you know? Shut up, Samurai. I assume that's him. You get jumped. Shut up, Carp. Really? Look, Zora, you think you get stopped? I guess. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah. I don't know, man. We know what happened. There was an aggressiveness to that, man. I like that. Don't you dare explain to me what happened. Traitor. Lock her up. Kick her ass. Hey, man, I didn't ask for the fairy contingent to give their opinion. Huh. She's a member of the royal family, man. Oh, that's a good point. Right, okay, yeah. Yeah. The soldier. Yeah, I guess she doesn't remember either, right? The memory is taken from her, too. I suppose. There's no crying in Fairy. Actually, there's seems to be quite a bit of crying in Fairy. Honestly. Super punch. You know, getting hit by him must be getting hit like must be like getting hit by a brick wall, man. What the actual hell? Oh, big boy. Jesus. Don't just stand under him. You're gonna get smashed. That's a big boy. Don't tell me you took that hit. I hope you dodged it. Shoot these sons of bitches. Hair cannon. Hair cannon their asses. Do you have a rocket loaded in? That's right. Pad the runtime, you son of a bitch. So the hair is just the hair. What a bait and switch. The hair is just hair. It's not a cannon. I fell for it, man. I totally thought that was a cannon or a launcher or something. You know, unbelievable. He just did his hair just because. Shoot this son of a bitch. The author sometimes just does weird shit just to be weird. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. This is not good. Like, what the hell, man? Who the hell would brush his teeth with a shoe brush? Come on, man. Shoot this motherfucker. Shit, now they got me cussing. Damn it. Like, it's just such a fine line between eccentric and just being weird to be weird, you know? He crosses that line quite a bit. Swim fruit, huh? It's about my honor. Everything he does is about how he looks. I said he didn't care how he looked, but like he seems to be spending a lot of time on how he looks. That's why he's like giving this lecture right now. I don't know, man. Maybe he's being real. Really? Really? He's got brandy in a baby bottle. I do know there are people with a baby fetish, so that part's not too weird. I don't have a problem with any of that. It's when he starts brushing his teeth with a shoe brush that you lose me, right? Yeah, that dude got wrecked, man. I thought his big fat ass was going to crush Frankie. Apparently Frankie messed him up. No, he got smashed. Yep, you better watch your, whatever we call it. That's not your 12. There's not going to be any palace left when we're done with this shit. Or the grounds outside the palace. It's very perverse when you rub your tummy like that. More wrestling influence, by the way. You're under arrest. This is why they showed the Admiral. He's going to show up and kick Frankie's ass. Yep. Is he again using a brawl to wipe his mouth and face? I think so. You're nuts. It's time for a tactical retreat, my man. You only have so much cola, just saying. So he came back up here, huh? That's what he went to go do. He went to go give those orders. I wonder if this resolution is going to be this Admiral arresting Daffy. He'll find out about Smile and arrest Daffy. Because he's very honorable. He's like lawful evil or something, right? I can see him putting Daffy under arrest. Maybe that's how they resolve it without killing him, right? His strong sense of justice. We'll see about that. Yeah. Exactly. He knows you're suspect. You heard me. Don't even think about using your strings. You see, his sense of honor and justice makes him tell him. I wondered if they were going here. Get rid of the warlords, because it doesn't make any sense, right? After the War of the Best, it doesn't make sense. What Blackbeard did, and then what you had Law doing, like, you know, Hancock's useless. Oh, shit. Crocodile, too, right? Crocodile was another bad warlord. Like, there's been too many of them, man. I wonder if he has any authorization or if this is just him. Because you need the fleet admiral to approve this shit. I thought this fight would happen after, man. Heavenly demon. There's that word again. We will fight, though. That's the best line Toffee's had so far. He's on your ass, man. Well, this will be a plot point. That's going to be a whole storyline, I bet, this World Conference. He's going to end up arresting Daffy. I'm convinced of it. I guess she told him the whole story. The carp just got slapped by a cat. There's something poetic about that. Yep. I thought she already mentioned that her sister, you know. She mentioned her sister. I guess she didn't mention her relationship to Rebecca. Pretty big hidden door. Yeah, ninja. Good shit. She knows all the secrets. And take those loud ass shoes off. Excellent. Although he might. Just because you think he doesn't know doesn't mean he doesn't know. It's the lift. That's how you can get up to the top. Which means Zoro's probably going to have to lift him. Right. Huh. There we go. Hey, man. That's how you do it. Huh. He's awesome. What are you talking about? Talk about it's impossible. So the samurai is not going to come off the point of her being a ninja. I see that right now, right? We're already into it, huh? They cleaned all the corpses off, cleared up the damage. Who the hell is this? Oh. They're going to make it a little bit more complicated, I see. Watch the water, especially those fruit users. Yep, a lot more complicated. Limber up. This is going to get ugly. Does he already have a fruit power? What did he call him? The crowd goes wild. It's a very distinctive look. I would believe it. She knows the real deal, though, right? Yes, that's it. That's his minion. Another reason for him to have a separate name, by the way. It's all coming to a head. Probably be about 50 episodes or so before we end this story arc. It's interesting. I didn't think about the Navy arresting Daffy until we saw it in this episode. That's how you resolve it. Because I don't think the author wants to kill these guys off for the most part. Especially somebody like Daffy. I want him to kill them off. But I don't think that's the way this is going to play out. So that gives us another option. Because if he's under arrest by the Navy with these powerful admirals, there's no way to get out. I was thinking about him more being under arrest in the palace dungeons, right? Like, they don't have the firepower to keep him in there. I don't care if it's a sea prison bars or not, man. He's got a lot of people loyal to him. Somebody would let him out. But you put him in a Navy prison with the admirals guarding him, okay, we're good. He's off the board, which is what you want. So that explains that. That kind of dovetails very nicely with my intro. So the interesting thing about the fact that the Admiral wants to get rid of the warlord system, which the government put in place. Now, I get the idea the government didn't put in place the Emperor system. They're just tolerating it. It's something that evolved on its own, and they're like, okay, we'll tolerate this. But I feel like they established and put together the warlord system. Evidenced by the fact, and I mentioned this before, they select people to be warlords, where emperors are just, they take the role. It gets decided amongst themselves, right? Blackbeard wasn't selected by the government, I don't think. They wouldn't trust him. They wouldn't like it. He just betrayed them. So clearly that's the way it goes, right? So I've been thinking they're going to get rid of the warlords. It makes sense. The question is, do they go after the emperors next? I think the answer is yes. But what I really want to talk about here is this idea of, like, right before the time jump, we talked about this. New people, new ideas. It's always good to promote from within, but it's even better to hire somebody from outside your culture. You know, like, say you need a new vice president of your organization. You can promote from within, and it's probably a good idea morale-wise to do that. But say you have 4 vice presidents, okay? 3 of them will get promoted from within because you're rewarding hard work. You're rewarding people that do the labor to get themselves to go up, right? So you got that going on. The 4th should always be somebody from the outside because they bring in new ideas. They have new ideas. They have a new way to look at things. They're like, wait a minute. Why are you charging people for lunch? Like, you want them to stay here. You don't want them to go out for lunch. If you're charging them money, they might go out for lunch. Why are you doing this? Well, we've always done this. You know, back in the 50s, it was only a quarter. So, you know, people didn't want to go out and get in their car and drive, you know, like, you know, for a quarter, right? And then pay money somewhere else. Culture has changed since the 50s. Just because something worked in the 50s doesn't mean it still works. You need somebody to come in from the outside to look at it with new eyes and realize this doesn't make sense. This old tradition doesn't make sense anymore. The warlord system probably worked when they first established it. They probably did what they wanted to accomplish. They had a need, they set it up, and it worked. And the first people they picked probably, you know, leaned into the role and took it seriously, and maybe had a little bit of gratitude, and felt like they were giving something back after all the horrible shit they've done in their lives. I don't know, but it doesn't work anymore. But you needed somebody with new eyes to come in and be like, hey, this is bullshit. This doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't be doing this, right? And that's what you got. You got it with him. Now, I think there's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a 3rd admiral we still don't know, because Light Bitch is still one of the admirals. Then you have this guy, and there's a 3rd guy we haven't met yet, I believe. I just remembered what I wanted to, I was scanning back through the previous episode, because there's something I wanted to see, and I couldn't remember what it was. I remember what it was now. They showed the warlords. I wanted to see if they show all 7. I doubt it. I bet they still only show the 6. They're hiding the 7th one for a reason. You know, the guy we previously talked about. Anyway, back on track. This all makes so much sense. Like, you know, the author really understands the way organizations work and the inertia of organizations. You need somebody to come in. That's why they hire outside consultants. That's the other thing. If you don't want to bring in a vice president from outside, then you hire a consultant from outside. They come in, they analyze the entire system, and here's the 50 things you should either address, think about, rethink about, or change. Boom. Because they have new eyes. They're from the outside. They're not brainwashed by the culture. This is the way we always do things. Maybe there's a better system for elevators. You know, we came up with the system for elevators over 100 years ago. Maybe if we could bring in an alien and look at things with new eyes, like, this system makes no sense. Let's do this instead. Whatever, you know. Maybe an escalator system is better, like a circular escalator, and that's how you go up the building, because then if the power goes out, you can still go up and down. In an elevator, if the power goes out, you're screwed. So, something like that, right? Like, you know. So I like the idea that it took bringing in a new person to conceive of this idea, rather than, like, you know, Light Bitch being like, I woke up this morning and want to get rid of the warlords, right? You see what I mean? They both work. You're trying to, if they are trying to bring this up, I don't know if the warlords are actually going to get abolished. I just know the attempt will be made, and the attempt being made will create plot and will create a response from the warlords, right? The ones that want to keep their power. Some of them won't give a shit. I don't think Mihawk cares either way. But some of them want to keep their power. So they will, like, they'll push back. But either way, you want this put out there for this World Council reverie, whatever. You want this out there. So what do? You need a character to propose it and champion the idea. You could just do somebody who's been an admiral for 30 years. suddenly woke up one morning and had to change her heart, or you bring in a new person, and that just feels so much more organic. I like that writing.